Today's Triple Play is named after a somewhat cheesy 80s song. It's Hip to Be Square. The first game is called Geometry Dash. It is a bit of an endless runner, but there is an end. If you're good enough, you will get to the end of these stages. This game is really hard.
It is so difficult. It's so difficult, but it's so much fun because it's really a rhythm-based platforming game. And this music here. I loved listening to this game. I loved going into different levels, even though I was terrible at them. Even though I failed all the time, it was still such a good experience because you're taking in these amazing soundtracks that you can then purchase if you want to.
And trust me, even the easiest level, the first level you start in, it is pretty tough, and it takes a while before you build up the momentum and the muscle memory to know like when you're supposed to jump and when you're not supposed to.
It will punish you, but it's so worth it. It's $1.99. It's worth it for the soundtrack alone.
Definitely. Marissa, what are you going to give Geometry Dash?
Gets a 9.
I'm giving it an 8.5.
The next game that has us hip to be square is called Blocksworld HD. This one has us playing with blocks, essentially. That's all we're really doing is playing with blocks, giving them different colors, different textures, and then doing with it what you will, but they don't really function that well once you build something.
There are a lot of steps to just placing a block. So you choose that you want to place a cube, then you choose the color, then you choose the texture, and then in later levels you're putting things down like wheels, you're attaching wheels to a cop car, and then you have to attribute actions to it. It's this really weird process. It's almost like coding by widget, and you're just dragging and dropping things. So you can make vehicles, you can make a jet, and that's a lot of fun. I thought it was pretty neat.
The driving mechanic sucks.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
You know what? It is cool that it works and that you can make something that drives, but the controls are terrible.
Right, so it's interesting that you're making things, but the things that you make have no function.
Yeah, they're pretty much terrible.
Right. Shaun, what are you scoring Blocksworld HD?
I could see that they've really tried here, so I'm giving them a 6.5.
Aw, they're getting a 5 from me.
And closing out this triple play of being hip to be square is Mikey Hooks. We've seen this character before. I did not know he had the franchise power that he apparently has, because I played that first game, Mikey Shorts, and was not too impressed. There's some pretty fun platforming action to be had. The controls are quite solid, but he still feels off.
The same thing with Mikey Shorts. It's just one of those fly through the level kind of thing.
Well, what was interesting about this game is that so many of the levels are just broken up. Like, here's an environment where you're going to see a whole bunch of levels that look exactly like it. And so, you know, even if you got the background changing, you're pretty much doing the same thing. It doesn't change it up as much as something like a League of Evil does, where things just ramp up and get crazy difficult. Like,
but this game isn't meant to even be close to that level of difficulty. I think this is just one of those easy app store games that anybody can jump into. They can have some fun with it if they want.
I'm going to give this one a 7.
It's getting a 7 from me as well.